Hello guys, welcome back to Danny's Academic Corner. Before I start today's video, I first of all want to take the time to send my thoughts and my love to all those who were affected by the devastating floods that hit our province, KwaZulu-Natal, last week. Even though the sun is shining and the rains have stopped, a lot of people are still feeling the effects of the flood, and I know it's going to take some time to pick up their lives. So I just want to send my thoughts, my love, and my prayers to all my viewers and subscribers who are in the province of KwaZulu-Natal and were affected. Alrighty, let's get into today's video. For those of you who are new here, hello, and this channel is dedicated to academic development. The aim is to build a community of people who are in the academic space or aspiring to be in this space. And I share videos that share some advice and some tips in terms of how to go about navigating the academic journey. So if you watched the video that I posted about 2 weeks ago, I was talking about how to prepare for employment if you are in your final year of studying. And I shared various ways in which you can prepare for you can prepare for employment in terms of ensuring that your cover letter stands out and building on the skills that employers are looking for. But there was one thing that I mentioned which I just more or less glossed over, and that was the impact of your network or your contacts in terms of securing a job. But I feel like that's a topic that, or an issue that it's not something that's worth just glossing over. I think that actually needs a video on its own. So this is what today's video is all about. Is your network really your net worth? And how we can go about establishing meaningful and useful networks in university. Now, I want to say this as kind of like a caveat. We live in a world whereby, especially in this like hustle and grind culture, we're made to believe that everyone in our circle needs to help us in terms of climbing up the corporate ladder. And we hear rhetorics like, if I don't build a business with my friend, or if you're not helping me in my work or in my career, then you're not a friend and you just need to get out of my life. But honestly, I feel that there is so much more to that. There's so much more to friendship than just helping each other in terms of your career and your professional ambitions. I do believe that friendships are a place where you can just help each other in terms of your personal issues, have a good time, create memories that are outside of work and hustle and academia. So I really just want to kind of emphasize that before I talk about networks. So how I thought about framing this video is to basically share some of my networking experiences, whether intentional or unintentional, my networking experiences in university and post-university working in the academic and research space. So I actually have some notes I want to refer to from time to time. I want to talk about the key networks or key circles that really have helped me or shaped me in terms of being the academic or researcher or person that I am today. Because I believe that networks aren't just about helping you in terms of achieving a career goal or a professional goal. It's also about making you a well-rounded and holistic individual. So sometimes, and I want to stress this, networks aren't about just getting an immediate return or an immediate benefit. It really can just be all about improving you as a person. And I think that is something that we cannot undermine. So my networks, I didn't even think about seeking them out intentionally, like, oh, I'm gonna go out of my way and establish this relationship or this network so I can reap a benefit out of it. Most of the networks that I established came out of, genuine interest, or just maybe a genuine connection or friendship with someone, and then that led to some sort of network or opportunity coming out of it. So I remembered when I started university, I did hear this rhetoric that, while you can be a good student and get good marks, it is also important to build networks and create groups that are going to, or create circles that are going to help you post university life. But in all honesty, I didn't really know how to approach that, because I'm just like, you know what? I came to university to learn, acquire knowledge, make friends, have a good time. If networks come out of that, fine. If they don't, yeah. Honestly, I was 18 when I started university, so I wasn't really thinking about the long term in that moment. So when I started first year, within my first month actually of university, I remembered there was an organization called Enactus, and they were having a presentation on a Friday afternoon. And I actually went to the presentation with my friend Yonella. And Enactus, if you don't know about them, they are based in university institutions in different parts of the world. And the purpose of Enactus is to use entrepreneurial skills and tools to promote community development in the communities around our university. So I was really interested in that because my degree was community development, my major. So it was nice to hear about the projects that they were involved in. And also they have these competitions with other universities in South Africa, as well as international universities. If our university won the national competition, we get to represent South Africa, and these international competitions are held in different parts of the world. So I was also very excited about that. So I signed up for the organization, and you had to do an interview, and I got in. It was really an enriching and wholesome experience, and maybe I can talk about that in another video. But how actually Enactus helped me in terms of building a network, one that I didn't really intentionally seek out for it to be a network, but it helped me in a variety of ways. First of all, in terms of developing my interpersonal skills, because coming from high school, you're in this little bubble, and most of the students in high school, they from the same neighborhoods as you, and you have similar thoughts, similar interests, and you don't really learn anything new from most of your friends in high school. But being in an organization like Enactus, I was interacting with students from different parts of KwaZulu-Natal and different parts of South Africa. So in that way, I was exposed to different thoughts and different cultures, and it helped me in terms of my communication skills and my listening skills and just understanding where people are coming from. So, and I think, like I said, we shouldn't undermine that aspect of networking in terms of helping you in building interpersonal relationships. And another way Enactus helped me was, in fact, I got role models out of that organization. Because most of the students were in second year or third year, they have had a couple of years of experience in university in terms of navigating university life. So it was really helpful just learning from the older students. I remembered there was one student in Enactus, shout out to Pume. She was in her honors at the time, and she had graduated with cum laude for her bachelor's. And that just really inspired me, oh wow, you did that, that's amazing. and I was in first year, and I was just like, I remember just looking up to her. And I also ended up graduating summa cum laude. And I think just Pume planting that seed in me that it can be done, it really inspired me. So shout out to you. And yeah, so basically that was one of the first and earliest networks that I established in university. And like I said, the benefits that I got out of that, it was just in terms of exposing my mind to different ways of doing things, and also in terms of the community work that we did. That was also really helpful in terms of interacting with people outside of the university space. And oftentimes after university, when I applied for jobs and I got interviews, people actually asked me about my experience at Enactus, especially for the community development kind of jobs that I applied for. People asked me about that experience and what I learned. So I do believe that joining an organization in university can help you while you are in university and also beyond university. So I think that's a network that is worth pursuing. But also be intentional about it. Join the organization because you're genuinely interested in what they stand for and what they do, not just because you think, oh, eventually I'll get a job because I joined this organization. You get me? Like, I think it shouldn't be like a tit for tat type of motive, but rather just one that is sought out of you being genuinely interested. Right, now the next type of network, and this one I think it is worth mentioning that you kind of have to tread lightly when it comes to pursuing this type of circle as a network, and that is your friendship groups. Like I said at the start of this video, your friends are there for a variety of reasons: to have a good time, to support each other, to, just have a laugh. And it's not always going to be serious and hustle and career and all of that stuff. You need people who you can just have you can have light-hearted fun with, without thinking about how that's going to help you in terms of climbing up the corporate ladder. With that said, I do believe that having friends who are as ambitious as you are, or they motivated, it helps in terms of just, motivating you too. If you see your friend, is dedicated to their studies, they're good at balancing or managing their time, these types of attitudes or way of doing things can also rub off on you. And even in terms of their perspective or their thoughts on issues and viewing certain things, it at least opens your mind to looking at a situation. And all these things can also help you in your personal as well as in your professional life. If you're dealing with an assignment or a project at work, and there's a friend who has an analytical way of looking at something, you can ask them, hey, I need your help with a certain thing that I'm working on, and I know that the way you think about certain issues, it may be of benefit to the work or assignments that I'm doing currently. And I do also believe that friends can help you in terms of career opportunities. Sometimes it may be big career opportunities or something small scale. So for instance, in first year, I had a friend who was doing promotions, and I asked her, I said, hey, how do you get into this thing? And she took me to the promotion company one Friday afternoon after university, and I got the job. And even though it was just a small promotional gig, but that also helped me in a variety of ways. It was like one of my first, sort of paid jobs. So it helped me in terms of becoming more financially independent and not having to rely on my parents for every little thing that I needed. And more so, it taught me about responsibility and work ethic. Because sometimes on Saturday mornings I'll have an early shift, so I had to wake up early, ensure I wake up early so I can catch public transport, arrive to work on time, set up, and just you know be on my toes and um, market the product that I was promoting. So yeah, sometimes some of these small jobs that your friends put you on to, don't despise them, because that can also help you for future career, yeah, for future jobs or future opportunities, because these skills are also required in more they're also required in more substantial or more what's the word, or in jobs that are aligned to what you studied for. I hope that makes sense. But like I said, with friendships, just kind of tread lightly. It's a balancing act of, okay, you're my friend, we have a good time, um you're there, you're like a shoulder to cry on, but at the same time, hey, we can also help each other in terms of pursuing our career objectives and goals. Okay, now the third network that also helped me in university and beyond university was with my lecturers. I do believe that lecturers, being a lecturer myself, we are there honestly to we're there not just to teach you knowledge, not just to teach you a module, tick it off. And lecturers also invest in the students who are genuinely interested in their module or their areas of research. And I was that student in my undergrad. I had a thirst for learning, I had an inquiring mind. So because of that, I stood out to a lot of the people that taught me. And eventually, one of my lecturers became my mentor. And yeah, I really valued that relationship with that lecturer who eventually became my mentor, because he helped me in a variety of ways in terms of building my critical thinking skills, looking at the world and analyzing things and thinking selflessly, because he taught community development. So he always had a passion for community and people. He was all about people-centered development. My battery died, but we move. Okay, so I was talking about my lecturer and how he played such a pivotal role in my personal and professional development. He shaped my critical thinking skills as a student and forced me to look beyond my lived experiences and put myself in other people's shoes, especially in a field like community development. And beyond him being my lecturer while I was studying, he became a mentor to me beyond my studies. And he has played a vital role in terms of my professional development in various ways. When I commenced my master's degree, even though it was in a different discipline from the discipline I did my undergrad in, he informed me that they were looking for tutors, and he remembered how much I engaged and participated in his modules, and they need tutors like that who are passionate. I mean, I was going to apply for the post anyway, but the fact that he saw something in me and believed that I could add value to his module and the discipline, it really meant something to me. And even after graduating with my master's degree, when I used to apply for jobs, I listed him down as one of my references. And one of the jobs that I eventually got, I got a job as at an NGO as a research intern. When I got the call that I had gotten the job, my employer told me, your mentor gave such a sterling recommendation, and that was something that solidified our decision to employ you. So all in all, I want to say to you guys, don't just see your lecturers as people who are there to teach you and that's the end of the relationship with your lecturer. I think, of course, it needs to be professional, but go beyond just that top-down approach of your lecturer just coming to class, teaching you, leaving, and then that's it. Actually make a concerted effort. If you're genuinely interested in the course that lecturer is teaching or their areas of research, establish a working relationship with them beyond the class. Go to their office or email them to seek extra information or inquire about what kind of research they're involved in. And it will be the lecturer who actually realize or recognizes that, hey, this person is not just here to pass and gain another credit. They're genuinely passionate about this. And lecturers also have networks outside of the university community, especially in various industries and organizations. So you never know. It could be that once you graduate, the lecturer could inform someone in the industry that you're aspiring to work in and say, hey, I studied, what am I saying? I lectured a student who can add value to your organization. That is actually a true story, because a friend of mine started working this year okay, I don't want to give much details, but she started working for an organization basically whereby it was the lecturer, one of her lecturers who taught her, that recommended her. Of course, she had to go through the interview process and all the process that entailed getting the job, but she did not even know about that job vacancy beforehand. It was her lecturer who recommended her because of her work ethic and how much she put into the module. So all in all, you get out what you put in. So yeah, I want to say, don't undermine the network that you build with your lecturers or tutors or mentors within university, because they can also be useful beyond the university space. And then the last form of network that I want to touch on is networking in the workplace. I know for most of us, the end goal is to secure a job. That's the whole point behind networking, so that we can secure a job. But even then, you can't get comfortable when you get employment. In fact, that is a pivotal time for you to actually build your skills and really go deeper in the field that you are in. And again, I think that I have leveraged some of the networks that were available to me in the workplace, both intentionally and unintentionally. So the organization that I worked for after I completed my master's degree, that organization was part of a coalition with other organizations, and sometimes we would do inter-organizational collaboration. And because of that, I got to network with people in different areas of I was basically working in budgeting for healthcare, but there was also people who were looking at other aspects of public budgeting. So I got to learn a lot about public budgeting, and also developed my skills and my knowledge in the work that the coalition was doing. And because of that, I established networks that gave me more opportunities beyond me working for that organization. I think there's still much more to be learned in terms of leveraging networking opportunities. But all in all, I would say I did position myself in a variety of ways to ensure that I build meaningful networks and social capital that has been sustainable to my professional as well as my personal development. So I really want to encourage you guys, no matter which stage you're at, whether you've just started university, you're in postgrad, or you are working, there's always an opportunity to build meaningful relationships and networks. And I believe it's not a tit for tat type of thing. Be genuine about the relationships that you want to pursue, or the projects or programs that you actually want to engage in, and that you believe that you can bring your own, you can inject your own experience or your own knowledge into these projects. Just don't go into them because you solely want to get something out, but go into them because you know that you can bring something into these networks that you align yourself with. I hope that is making sense. But all in all, like I said, I just wanted to touch on some pivotal networks that helped me in university. First of all, joining a university-based organization. I also had good friendship groups that helped me in terms of leveraging opportunities, or just building, building my skills in terms of the way I think or the way I approach things. And then thirdly, I talked about building, meaningful relationships with lecturers and people that taught me and mentored me. And finally, and this is ongoing, building relationships as I am currently working and seeking out projects that I am actually passionate about, or projects that I want to learn more about. And yeah, guys, I think that's really what I wanted to share today, just as a build on to that last video that I did in terms of preparing for employment after studying. And if you guys have any other networking tips or strategies that you want to suggest or that have worked for you, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section. I would actually be very interested in reading what you guys put down. And if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like. All of that actually helps to grow the channel. And once again, I just want to say thank you guys for the support. It really doesn't go unnoticed. There are people who even tell me when I see them in person, hey, I'm loving the channel, and I'm really I'm engaging with the content that you put out. So all of that really helps me to come up with new ideas, or it just boosts my confidence. So thank you guys, and I'm gonna leave it there for today, and hope you guys keep well. Bye.